I asked for your hand in marriage. A Percabeth Royal Alternate Universe Fanfiction, Part 13. I hate this. I hate you. I hate this. I hate everything. Annabeth muttered. It was late. She was tired. She couldn't stop. The computer screen was killing her eyes, but she didn't take a break. Sure, it was 3 a.m. in the morning, but she had work to do, things to plan, things to organize. She had to do something. Something to keep her from breaking down completely. Dear God, where is it? She continued in a frenzy, tears spilling down her face. Sniffling, she wiped them with her sleeve, making sure to not let any of it get onto the papers. Whew, deep breath in, deep breath out. Continue on with work. Annabeth heard footsteps and tried hard to stop the stupid crying. If Percy walked in, he'd panic and never let it go until she told him exactly what was wrong, and that was something she could not afford to do. Weak whimpers escaped her mouth as she tried to calm herself and smear away watery cheeks. Annabeth? Oh, thank God. It was not Percy. Annabeth? It was Grover. Annabeth looked up and let out a sigh of relief as her friend entered the room and closed the door quickly. What are you doing up at this hour? He asked. Annabeth searched around the room for those darn plants. Where on earth had she stashed them? Oh God, she'd need to be more organized if she couldn't find her ball plants now. Where had she shuffled them away? The day Percy had held her tight on his bed, or the day that Rachel had visited again? She didn't even know when she had done it. She was in too much of a frenzy to really remember what she had done productively those days. Her eyes caught onto the highlighted papers through the watery haze. There was. She grabbed them and practically flung them onto her desk as Grover watched in worried silence. Annabeth? He trailed off, but she cut him off with a huff. I'm busy, she said shortly, sniffling again. Repeating to herself like a mantra, she commanded to stop crying. It didn't work. Did I plan for the 1st or the 7th? Annabeth asked, trying to control her voice, but to no avail. Grover sighed and came closer, but rather than telling her which number she'd written down, his hand came forward and snatched the papers away. Annabeth's reflexes were much too tired at this hour to work fast enough to get them back. Instead, she stayed in her chair, crying like a total mess. You need to get sleep. You need to stop, Grover said seriously. Annabeth shook her head. No. She didn't have the time to. She quite literally couldn't. The tears started trailing down her cheeks, dripping into her hands. It was awful. Annabeth hated crying. She felt so weak and helpless, and those were feelings she made sure to never show. Crying was just a stupid collection of everything Annabeth couldn't be. Annabeth, Grover said, his voice serious but caring. You can take a break. You can take time to process things. That's okay. You don't need to be working every minute of the day. Breathe, go to sleep. Let yourself deal with emotions that you can't just get rid of it. No. There's no cheating your way out of feeling, he said. Annabeth gave a bitter laugh. Too bad. I'm gonna have to find my way out, one way or another, she joked miserably. I don't have time for this. He doesn't have time for this. No one has time for this, and it's fine. Really, I'll be fine in an hour. All back to normal. Go to sleep. It's really late, Annabeth said, waving her hands. Grover frowned at her. Don't act like that, he said with a sigh. Annabeth sniffled. It is just a stupid crush, she said, seemingly trying to convince herself more than she was trying to convince Grover. The brunette shook his head. No, he said definitely. It is not stupid. 5 years is anything but, he told her. Annabeth threw her arms in the air, absolutely tired of everything. I'm in love with my best friend. He was a crown prince and has been for years, with the knowledge that he will be married to a princess, and right now he is quite literally betrothed to one. You know, I was the one to plan the meeting, and I will be the one to plan the wedding, Annabeth said bitterly. I feel like I'm gonna be a spinster forever, she muttered, collapsing onto herself. Grover laughed a bit. You're 18, he pointed out. Annabeth sent him a pointed and raised eyebrow look. You know what I mean, she snapped. Grover helped his arms up in surrender. Okay. Sorry, he said. Annabeth sighed but flashed an apologetic smile. But really, it's not stupid, Grover started. Sure, it's unfortunate in the situation, but haven't we all told you before? The both of you are so in love with each other, it's literally stupid, the brunette said. Annabeth shook her head. Well, if he was so in love with me, why hasn't he shown any interest? Anything. Percy is so obvious, emotional. Everything I hide, he shows. And nothing. Just platonic care, Annabeth cried. Grover stared at her with a bug-eyed expression. His mouth was open in a gape. I'm not quite sure what you think platonic is, but it is not you and Percy. By a long shot. You and Percy are practically married. The same soul, even, Grover said, exasperated. Annabeth buried her face in her hands. I know I should sleep. I know it replenishes the body. I know that. But I just cannot. Not when all I can think about is Percy and Rachel, and it's hurting me. It's really hurting my heart, which is so incorrect because that's not how it works, but I can feel it hurting. Annabeth sighed, shuffling the papers around and finally snatching her plans from Grover's limp grasp. Planning and working is the only thing keeping me together. I'm crying. I have to do this, she said. Her voice was so soft and broken. After the wedding, I'm gonna cry everything out of me. When Percy calls me to tell me about his future child, I'll cry then. But right now, I cannot. I will not, she sighed. He tells me, I think I'd rather have you as the queen for now, and it really hurts, because I know he means well and he just thinks highly of me. But it just hurts to think that we could be so close to being something, and we're not. We're just not. Annabeth looked out the window, breathing in deeply. She felt a hand on her shoulder. Whatever happens, I'm here to help, Grover promised her. Annabeth gave him a watery smile. Annabeth was never one to take an extended hand. However, right now, she would certainly need that help.